All right, what is up, everyone? It's KC3 Takes here, and we have a Royals prospect, Nick Heath, and the AA Northwest Arkansas Naturals. Nick, we really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thank you guys for having me.
For sure. We also have Jackson and John in here, and we're just going to go over your stats real quick just to give everyone just a little profile bio. I don't know if they don't know who you are. You were picked in the 16th round in the 2016 draft. You're batting 261 this year with 6 home runs, 25 RBIs, 7 triples, and I think the most impressive stat, and that's 47 stolen bases. Where did you get this speed from?
I can attribute a lot of this speed to my mom. My mom ran track in high school and college. She ran at K State, and she got her shot, to make it to the Olympics. She went to the trials in '88, I believe. So I get a lot of my speed from mom. A lot of it's just natural, but kind of growing up, being a little bigger, faster, stronger than I used to be. Some of it was kind of added on when I started playing college ball and then got to pro ball and got to put on a little more weight and a little more athleticism along the way.
All right. Jackson, you got a question?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, with the speed factor, that's kind of what the Royals were whenever they were really good. Who do you think from that Royals team, or I guess it could be any team, who would you compare yourself to as a player? I know you don't want to compare yourself to anyone; you want to be your own player. But if you had to compare yourself to someone, who would you see yourself as?
Since I've been drafted, I've had a lot of coaches tell me they see a little bit of Gerard Dyson in me.
Hmm.
Just the speed, playing defense, which is definitely what I pride myself in because I haven't always been a good hitter. I like to think I'm a good hitter now, but hitting comes and goes. So I think defense and speed are always going to play, at least for me, and that's kind of my role, and I do it to the best of my ability, and hopefully it works out for me. But I've been hearing a lot, that hey, you kind of remind us a little bit of Gerard Dyson, just the way you play defense, the way you run, your IQ on the bases, how your IQ is improving in the outfield day to day. So that's kind of my player comparison from that team.
John, you got one?
Yeah, I have one. So to kind of build off that, we talked about how you really are like a base stealing mainly player, and the Kansas City Royals ever since that 2015-14 run, they kind of pride themselves off that type of thing, like being able to run bases, playing good defense, small ball, all that. So, how do you think that being in a system like this has benefited your style of play?
I think it definitely helps because they're very transparent with what they want in their players and our roles on each team, which is really nice to hear because, I've heard guys saying other organizations that, what does my team want from me? What am I supposed to do? What's going to help me climb the ladder? What's going to get me closer to my dreams and my goals? And they make it very clear, from day one that I'm supposed to run, I'm supposed to steal bags, I'm supposed to score runs, I'm supposed to get on base, and I'm supposed to play defense. So I think it definitely makes my job easier. When I go to the park every day and I know that if I excel and do well in these things and let, the rest of the game of baseball kind of follow suit and play out however it may play out, that I at least have a shot to make the big league team. I at least have a shot to be important in this organization. And that's really nice to hear. It's nice to, show up to the park and know that if I just do what I'm supposed to do and it's laid out as to what I'm supposed to do, my job will be a little bit easier, and it'll be a little bit easier for me to, go about my daily work and work on the things that I need to be great at.
All right. So, talking about defense, I know earlier this year, I'm pretty sure it was this year, you robbed a home run. Is that correct?
And Tulsa, yes.
Yeah. So, just a little highlight, I guess you can say. I'm going to throw it up in the video. But what was going through your mind when you made that robbing catch?
I knew that wall was short, and I'd seen videos of guys do it previously. And Khalil was playing center that game. He communicates really well with me, whether he's in the corner and I'm in center or vice versa. But I knew that ball was going to carry a little bit, and then once I felt myself get to the track, they always teach us, to try to get sideways or try to run along the wall instead of running into the wall. And I did everything I could to catch that ball without flipping over it because, I was kind of conscious of, what might have been on the other side of the wall or not trying to get hurt, but at the same time make a really good play for my team. So I kind of went up and stayed on the inside of the wall. I hurt a little bit because there's that fence right behind it. It's got a little bar on top of it. So I kind of smoked my back on that. But I just wanted to do anything I could to make that play for my guys, Our pitching staff, they do a really, really good job. They've stepped it up even more in the second half. So, just want to go out and do everything I can to help us win or keep us in a game if we're not in one, or protect the lead if we have one in any situation. So the only thing that was going through my head was go out here and make a good play on defense, and let's get back inside, try to do something with our bats.
All right, Jackson, you got something?
Yeah. So I was just gonna ask, what's it kind of been like playing with now, like Brady Singer and Kowar, some of these guys that were first round picks, some of these like top guys that they talk about all the time. What's it like playing with these guys? And I'm sure the AA teams improved a lot due to them getting called up.
Man, it's really fun playing with those guys. You kind of, realistically speaking, you kind of understand that newer guys to the organization don't quite, I wouldn't say have a feel, but don't quite understand how everything works out just yet. But they came up to AA, man, and they meshed in perfectly. They fit right in. They spoke, they crack jokes with us. We go out to eat with them all the time. They invite us out. We invite them out. So I like to think, at least in this organization, we have a lot of really close-knit guys, despite what level you're at. It's really fun getting to play alongside of them. Obviously pick their brains to see what they're trying to do to hitters. And those guys are a little more advanced than some of the pitchers that I've come across, whether it be playing against them or playing with them at some point in my life. But they got really good stuff, man. They go out, they compete. You can kind of tell they got a little bit of fire in them when it's their day to pitch. And when it's not their time to pitch, they come in the dugout, they cheer us on. They're one of the first ones at the bottom of the steps. When you get in there and you make a good play on defense or you get a good hit, but you might get out, you score a run to support them. They're always there for you. And, it's been really fun playing with those guys for the last, month and a half.
John, you got something?
Yeah, I got another one. So, obviously, through the whole course of 2015, our farm system kind of broke down a little bit, just in terms of depth, but we kind of built it back up. How would you say that having a strong farm and strong teams around you as you advance has helped you and just the entirety of the system develop together?
I think having a strong farm is very beneficial for us. Simply in the fact that no matter where you go, you're going to have a pretty solid team. You're going to have a bunch of guys who are going to go out there and compete, a bunch of guys who want to go out there and play to the best of their ability. And, all of that stuff, once you get around a bunch of guys who want to win, a bunch of guys who want to compete and kind of, top the guy next to him, it just brings that competitive nature out in yourself. And next thing you know, you guys are rolling. You win a couple games, you might lose one, but you go right back to winning a few. You come to the clubhouse every day and hey, man, what is this team going to bring today? I at least know that the guys here in Arkansas are going to bring everything they have. It might not work out for us, but I definitely know that when we strap it up and go out there on that field, that I'm playing with 8 other guys who are going to give it everything they have all 9 innings. And, we all have our days. Let's say somebody is looking like they're taking a day off. We got guys in that clubhouse who are like, hey, man, we need you to lock it in for today. Or in the middle of the game, hey, man, lock it in. It's all right. Stuff happens, but keep going. And I think that kind of brings everybody closer together. I think we got a lot of guys who are only concerned with, what the guy next to them is doing and how they can help them up their game a little bit, or how somebody else can help them up their game as well.
So since you're in AA, that means you went through a few organizations of the Royals. Has there been a player that you've been with throughout your whole career in the minors that you've gotten really close with?
I haven't played every year on the same team with somebody. I guess it would be Valoria. I was with him in Idaho. I didn't play with him in Lexington. I was only there for a week, and I tore my hamstring. So I ended up missing a lot of time in Lexington. He wasn't with me my first half in Wilmington, and then he came my second year. So I played with Valoria every year. Castellano. I played with Rudy Martin for a bit. But honestly, Khalil Lee has probably been the guy that I've been just about every level with. Man, getting to play next to him is fun. Watching him play is a really good time when he's on. And when he's off, you can still kind of tell that, he's one of the better guys on the field. But um, playing alongside him, man, it's good to watch. The kid's got his tools, his talent are unbelievable.
All right, Jackson, you got anything?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I know that you're a speed demon, but the Royals the other day added some more speed in Kevin Morrell. Are we gonna see a competition to see who can steal the most bags?
Nick, you there? Having some communication problems. Nick?
What happened? What happened?
Oh, there we go. All right, you're back.
There he is.
No, I don't know
What just happened?
We don't know.
I'm sorry, man.
Oh, you're good.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, Jackson,
Where was I at?
Jackson, you can say your question again.
Okay, so I was saying, with the Royals, the other day they acquired Kevin Morrell as a pretty good speed demon himself. Are we gonna see a competition to see who can steal the most bags?
Well, when he got here, the first thing he asked us, well, obviously introduced himself, but the first thing he asked us is how we go about stealing our bases. And we kind of just looked at him. We didn't really have an answer. Me, Khalil, DJ, we didn't really have an answer for him. Kind of just looked at him and like, hey man, we just run. Like there's no rhyme or reason behind it. But when we get the opportunity to, if we see a guy's like, maybe somewhere between like a 1-2-5 or anything higher than that, I mean, it's pretty much a green light from there. Obviously, depending on the catcher, but he was like, "You guys don't have signs or anything like." Look, man, if you feel like you can get a good jump, just take off. Nobody's gonna say a word to you if you get thrown out, as long as the situation calls for it, or as long as you're not being reckless on the base pass. Nobody's gonna say anything to you about it. And I was telling him a lot of the times that when we have first and second, whether it be me and DJ, me and Khalil and DJ, that we kind of just look at the person behind us or in front of us, give them a head nod, and we just keep on rolling. Like, it's time to go. We've been here too long. And he kind of just laughed about it. And yesterday, he ended up getting on first base and stealing the bag, and everybody in the dugout went nuts. So it's cool to have him on board, and he's a really nice dude. Obviously still trying to figure him out. He's probably trying to figure us out as well. But he seems like he's going to be a really good fit, especially on our lineup. We run all the time, and we were kind of in the dugout saying, show us what you got, show us what you got. And then he took off and ended up being safe by a mile. So it's going to be fun to watch that kid run too.
John, you got something?
Yeah, no, I want to build off, just off here about that base running mentality. You talk about kind of like a freedom that the coaches give you. Do you think that plays to your advantage becoming a better base stealer?
I think it does tremendously, I think it helps me out. My coaches always tell me guys don't want you on base. We don't want you on base because, your single could turn into a double or a triple if it's the right pitcher on the mound. That causes a lot of worry and grief for the opposing defense. But I think it also helps because when I get on base, the guys behind me, like Khalil, they get a lot of fastballs. DJ get a lot of fastballs. And I know those guys, I know those guys can handle fastballs. So it's nice to be on base and know that, people are almost starting to be more concerned about you than somebody at the plate. And then you slip up and you throw the guy a hanging breaking ball at the plate, or you leave him a fastball down the middle and he drives it. I score from first, and next thing you know, we got our offense rolling. And the same thing with Khalil, the same thing with DJ. And when we get Mel rolling and he gets kind of used to the way we do things around here, that it'll be the same for him. So half of our lineup, maybe 5 or 6 guys in our lineup can go out and steal a bag on you, and now you got to worry about something else. So I think that definitely plays, not only for me, but it plays for all of us. We got our middle of the order guys who can almost – Rivera stole the base yesterday. So you kind of look up and down our lineup and you go, man, there's not really anybody in this lineup that won't try to steal a bag if they get on base. So I think it stresses, the pitching staffs out a lot more. It stresses the defense out a lot more. And, from that point, we can generate a little bit more offense.
All right. And did you go to Surprise for spring training this season, I guess you can say?
Yes, I did.
All right. And what was it kind of like there? Just having pretty much all the players that are in the Royals organization. How is that like? Just being around pretty much everybody.
I can tell you right now, my first year was really, really hectic. I mean, we got 200 guys, almost 100, somewhere in there, 175, 200 guys, and you're having to learn a bunch of new faces. The schedule is confusing. You don't know which field is which, but you kind of got to just pick a buddy and kind of go through it with them. Go through the motions with them, and then eventually, your second year, your third year, you kind of get everything figured out. But man, it's awesome getting to meet, the new draftees, the guys you might have picked up in the off season. I know some of my buddies are in AAA, and I haven't been in AAA, and some of my buddies are in high A, and I've been in AA all year. So it's nice to go back to spring training and see a lot of the coaches that you haven't seen, a lot of the rovers that you haven't seen, other players. So that first week or two, it's kind of getting back into the mix of like, hey man, how you been? We're just doing smaller workouts and stuff like that. But once the games get started and, you guys kind of figure out your levels that you might be playing at, it kind of gives you that chance to, build a little camaraderie before you guys break during the season. And, man, it's nice to see. It's nice to see everybody in the organization. You get to go back, you get to see a lot of Latin players you haven't seen in a year. And those guys, they welcome you with open arms. So, man, I love the Royals organization, the way these guys go about business. Preach how it's a family environment, and they try to do everything they can to make it feel like that. It's great, and they definitely make it fun to play baseball.
All right, Jackson, do you have anything?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm pretty much out as well.
All right, I guess this is going to wrap it up. Nick, we really do appreciate you coming on again. Good luck in the rest of the season, and just good luck in general with the Royals organization. We hope to see you at Coughlin one day.
I hope so. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.